So yeah, so last week before that, we discussed chapter 1, Advent of Lord Krishna. So so we might have heard about Krishna uh, so many times, unlimited times, but we never get bored, right? Am I right? Because he's so attractive. Um, when we hear about um, our own life stories, or people life stories, or histories, when we read our history books, we get tired. We don't even feel like studying them, right? Like, we just read for the sake of the exam, and then we forget it, or US history or Indian history or whatever. But Bhagavatam, our Vedic scriptures, when Krishna comes in his literary incarnation, Vyasadeva, he himself writes his glories, devotees' glories. It's so nectarian. When Krishna came in the mood of Radharani in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he would read Dhruva Maharaj's story, Prahlad Maharaj's story, unlimited times from Gadadhara Pandit. So so because Krishna always likes to hear about his devotees' pastimes, and his devotees always like to hear about Krishna's pastimes. So whenever we talk about Krishna, I always have this big smile, because it's so, like, more we talk about him, more we hear about him, more we do japa, Hare Krishna mantra. It's like a magical code. We get to slowly, Krishna himself reveals himself to us, because he's sitting within our heart. So he knows our intention. If we are very pure, if you do not find any fault in others, if you're very kind to everyone, if you're very sweet to others, no matter what you are, where you are, you'll always, Krishna likes that purity. So this week, we will like kind of like brief about chapter 2. So we kind of like touched upon how Kamsa, Devaki's brother, he was super nice to her at one point, and all of a sudden he put her in the dungeons, in the jail. So that's demonic mentalities. We don't know what time, when, where they'll behave, how. But devotees of the Lord, they're always nice at all times. If they give a promise, they'll keep their promise. So what did Vasudeva promise Kamsa? Do you remember, Sita? Did he promise anything? What did he promise Kamsa? I cannot hear.
Eighth child of Devaki, he'll give to Kamsa.
Yeah, that is true. But Vasudeva was so nice. I said, like, every child that's born to him, he said that I'll bring to you, right?
Yeah.
He could have said that, but like, because he was about to kill his own sister, we saw in the pictures in the Krishna book, it will be there. He was so cruel. He held on Devaki's hair, was about to kill her. But Vasudeva was like, oh my God, at the moment, let me save my wife, Devaki, we'll see then. So, but when Devaki got first child, like when he brought that child to Kamsa, what did Kamsa say? It's okay, you can take. I'll take the eighth child. But Narada Muni comes and instigates, because he wants the pastimes of the Lord, and also there's a reason behind it. All the children of they were supposed to die that way, like but the seventh child, however, this Anantasesha, Lord Balram, Krishna's personal expansion, comes in the womb of Devaki, and so Krishna tells he can, sometimes we do not understand why Krishna does, sometimes we might question why he can directly come, right? Why does he have to take 7 children to come? Why Balram was transferred from the womb of Devaki to Rohini? Why? That's all Krishna's plan, we cannot question his plan. Devotees of the Lord never question his plan. He instructs Maya Devi, Durga Mata, like other is external energy, um, to transfer Balram, so that he can come. So Krishna is not born like us, with so much pain, and no, he's not born like us at all. But he actually manifests his Vishnu form in front of Devaki and Vasudeva, and he comes in the he's born as there's no birth or death for our soul. So Krishna is the supreme soul, so he does not have to take birth like us or death like us. We're reading some descriptions of spiritual world this morning. It is said that in spiritual world there's no competition. Means, in this world there's always competition, right? I want to get this position, or I have to become, if in the workplace or even in studies, use all rank system. But in spiritual world there's competition, but there's competition for service. The here we always want to serve ourselves. We want position. We want to look better. We want to look better than someone. We are not valuing the relationships. But spiritual world is all about love, giving. When we serve Krishna, then we automatically love others. We don't have that competition mentality. Oh, I need to do better than this person. In the spiritual world, if someone is better than you, you'll feel more happy. That is what our Vaikuntha consciousness is. We should feel more happy if someone is getting better in life, is getting good position, better than us. So we all pray. Srila Prabhupada is so merciful that he wanted all the children, all the generations to come to be in good positions, study well, do everything for the service of Krishna. So you do whatever you can, to serve the Lord. So this place becomes Goloka Vrindavan, wherever you are. So that way, now the next chapter, you can see in this sorry, you can see here, Sita. Um,
Mataji.
yeah, like how Krishna comes in baby form is so beautiful. They are like four hands. Just imagine Krishna with two hands, he's even more beautiful, right? Um, um, so like, and then Vasudeva goes in the river, and then Anantashesha is like guiding him, like guarding against him, like it was like raining, it was like dark night, midnight. It was all, Krishna wanted to, it's like an adventure. Krishna wanted to go that way to Nanda Bhavan, to Gokul. He wanted to go like chup chup ke, secretly he wanted to go. So in this world we can see that everyone wants fame, everyone wants recognition. But the Supreme Lord is so humble that he doesn't want recognition. Even in Bhagavad Gita, he says to Arjuna, you tell the world, you tell the world that my devotees never perish. Because 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 we feel like, okay, Krishna feels that at least if my devotees say, they will listen. It's like we will listen. But Krishna doesn't want any recognition. He's so humble, he's so sweet. But we are just his children, but we want recognition, right? Without the Father's help, without Krishna's mercy, without him giving us ability, we cannot move our hand. We cannot go, we cannot walk. We'll be paralyzed, right? The movement in our body, every part in our body is controlled by Krishna, and he has given his agents. Like there's 33 million demigods, devatas, agents working for our maintenance in this world. So we need to thank them, because you know we pay electricity bill, right? At the end of the day, nothing is free in this world. So but the cost is only love and gratitude to all the demigods and all the devatas, to Krishna. If we thank Krishna, then everyone is satisfied, all the devatas, agents are satisfied. So that's the prayers, the demigods. Now, then later we see in chapter 4, um, like I think it's the verse of Lord Krishna. Yeah. So he's taken to yeah, now it's taken to none now. Yeah. So after that, after some days, after so yeah, Vasudeva takes baby Krishna to Gokul, right? And everyone comes to know, the whole Vrindavan comes to know Krishna was born. So Vrindavan might be a village, but it was so opulent. It is said that it was so rich. They had like 900,000 cows. Only Nanda Baba had, and they they were decorated with jewelry, gold, diamonds, all because Lakshmi Deva was present there because Krishna was worshipped directly. But um, those who were born in Vrindavan, they were not normal entities. Some were devatas themselves. They came to assist the Lord, and some people who passed away in their previous life, they remove all their impurities, you know, and they went to another world where Krishna's pastimes were happening before they went back to Goloka. So these were not normal, ordinary beings. They were all pure devotees of Krishna. So, but Krishna, Vrindavan mood is in the way that everyone feel Krishna as their son, friend, relative. It's very intimate. But like in Vaikunta, it's like more of like the Lord is the boss. So so that is the only difference. Uh, so in this chapter 5, after some days, Nanda Baba, Krishna's father, foster father, there's a huge ceremony. They bring the Gargamuni, the ceremony happens, the astrologer predicts that Krishna is going to be very famous. He's going. Everyone is going to worship him. So like all this huge ceremony happens, and then after that, Nanda Baba every year they have to pay taxes to Kamsa. So Nanda Baba was going to go. The chapter 5 is meeting of Nanda and Vasudeva. So they go. Nanda Baba goes to Mathura. Like it was probably 2-3 hours, but they all go and then take their pots of yogurt, butter, and everything to pay respects to Kamsa. In the meantime, Vasudeva meets Nanda Baba there, and it was nice meeting. They discussed, and because Vasudeva did not get a chance to meet his sons, like, so he was so worried about him, like, so he asks Nanda Baba, like, how are you, how is your family, how is Krishna, how is Balaram? He feels so sad that I was not able to protect my sons, but Nanda Baba consoles him. It's okay, it's all pastime of Krishna. um so um
Mataji,
yeah.
I have a doubt that when
Mhm.
I was watching the serial of Sri Krishna, in
Yeah.
that the acting was like even Nanda Baba doesn't know that Vasudeva kept Krishna in Vrindavan.
Mm.
But here that in Krishna book it's like Nanda Baba no.
Oh, I think there's like a Maya kind of like, like a yoga Maya kind of covers that in certain parts. Um, like when Vasudeva comes, like when he puts the baby near Yashoda Maya doesn't know, like she forgot, that's kind of the yoga Maya to relish that, if they know that their love for Krishna will differ, right? If they know that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, or things like this have come, so they don't want Krishna doesn't want that to happen. So he put that cover curtain of Maya so that like Yashoda Maya doesn't know. But Nanda Baba probably knows at that moment when that happened, but after that, like it goes away. Um, he forgets about that, but Vasudeva clearly knows, like he remembers that I put the child there, and he, like, even in this conversation, um uh he doesn't directly tell to Vasudeva that, how is my son Krishna. No, he always refers, how is your son Krishna, how is your son Balram, and it's but but Nanda Baba, that in this conversation, if you look at chapter 5 from 37 to 42, they just have a normal conversation, but it never occurs to Nanda Baba that it is Krishna has been transferred. He might have known, but it's something that like it's very subtle, like so, but the devotees of the Lord who are enacting in these pastimes, they know every move of the Lord, but they pretend that they don't know because they have to relish that mellow. Like, of course, Yashoda Maya is not like an ordinary living being that like, she's feeding Krishna. She knows that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but she is just the mood of Vrindavan in such a way that they don't know, they don't want to remember all this. They just want to love Krishna. So that is why that is the mood of Nanda Baba here. I'll take care of them, like they're my children. He never felt that he was a foster father or anything. So one thing we need to understand, that in the spiritual world, we have mother, we have father, there's it's all what do you say, material world's reflection. Here sometimes, in this conversation, one of the sentence really highlighted was, in this material world, when we are born, we're with our parents for some years, and then we have to separate, right? We have to go for studies or marriage, or have to live in separate city. We cannot live with our parents till we die, right? So, but in spiritual world, it's not like that. Everyone is in the growing youth. Everyone is so beautiful. Like, every moment, there's no time there because there's no cause and effect. So you have the feeling of the mother, father, sister, brother, cousin, whatever, but it's always there of love. There's no growth there. There's no transformation. There's no death. There's no birth. Your soul is ever existing and ever beautiful. Radharani's beauty is ever increasing there. So Krishna's beauty is ever increasing. So because our Krishna and Radharani is so beautiful, because of them we get some beauty. We are his children. So in Vaikuntha planets, everyone has like 4 arms, or like Lakshmi, like depending on the mood, or depending on the bhava you have with Krishna, you have that identity, you have that form. But Krishna is so merciful, because he's so beautiful. He wants his children to be beautiful also. So we also have a beautiful spiritual body. It's just that we have to realize it. It'll take time. It's okay. We have this one life opportunity, and we take a day, a moment to moment, to realize and sink in that we are not this body. We need to maintain this body so that we can serve Krishna. But beyond this body is our soul. We have a form. We have a beautiful form. And then we can live with Krishna happily. And so, do you have any questions? I have some couple of videos we can watch, and okay. So this video is like a little bit video by Srila Prabhupada. He talks about reciprocation of Krishna. So he does not discriminate, whether you're an animal or a human or a devata or asura. It doesn't matter. When you like how sun doesn't discriminate us, it showers its sunshine to a bad person and a good person. Like that, whoever get in touch with Krishna, they all get purified. Okay, so we'll just hear this. One second, I need to share some. Okay.
There is a verse in the Bhagavad Gita, Ji yathamang prapadanti tang tathaiva bhajami hum. It is up to you. So, if you surrender 10%, then I am also fully 10% for you. But if you have got discrimination, certain percentage for my wife, certain percentage for my children, certain percentage for my country, certain percentage, so on, ultimately zero for God. Then God is also zero. It is up to you. Ah. But if you take God, you are my everything, then He is also for you everything. It is up to you. Barabar. He does not discriminate. You discriminate. Ah. There are many persons, they come to Vrindavan, and whatever they have earned throughout the whole life, so they give everything to the wife and children and make contract that I am going to Vrindavan, you send me at least 200 rupees for my expense. And what about 2 lakhs and crores? That is yours. The 2 lakhs and crores what I have earned, that is for you, my dear children, my dear wife. And you give me 200 for God. So I am going to Vrindavan. So Krishna is very intelligent. All right, I am also for you, 200. This is the meaning, real meaning. Krishna is for you. It is called, what is the exact word? Responsive cooperation. If you have surrendered to me 100%, then I respond 100%. If you have surrendered 25%, then I respond 25%.
Hey Krishna, please like, share and comment on this video. Also subscribe.
So it all depends on how much we surrender to Krishna, right? So if you give, so I request that every kid do japa at least 1 round before they sleep or when they wake up, whenever they have time. So it's like our conversation with Krishna. So the more we chant, I remember growing up, like, it's so important. Now we might not realize it. When we grow up, Krishna is always going to know, like this person has spent this much time in his life for me. Slowly the love will develop, and how much you want to be with Krishna, that much he will reciprocate with you. So it's all within us. So we have that opportunity to take 100% of Krishna. So this is next video, this little 5-6 minute video of Her Grace Nitai Sivani Mataji talking about childhood pastimes of Krishna. So we'll just hear it.
Of Krishna's Leela. Like I remember hearing one very nice katha of how, once when Brahma was looking from up above, wow, these Gopa Balak, they're having so much fun with Krishna. They're all playing, they're all enjoying. Even I want to be part of that Leela, So what he decided is, he thought, I want to take that Mahaprasadam of Krishna. Because, Krishna with his hand, he's feeding the Gopa Balak, and then he's eating himself. And then he eats half, and then he says, oh, this is so tasty. Why not you taste a little bit? And then he puts it in Madhumangal's mouth, and then he puts in Stoka Krishna's mouth, and Vishal and Rishabh, and so he keeps doing that. So Brahma thought, even I want the remnants of Krishna. So how do I get it? So he decided to become a fish. Now what he decided is, he thought, I become a fish, and when Krishna, after having his prasadam, he comes and washes his hand in Yamuna, and then I can have the Mahaprasadam. Usually when we take prasad, there's something stuck between the fingers. So he thought, I'm going to enjoy the remnants of Krishna today. So he becomes a fish inside the Yamuna water. So after Krishna's done with his lunch, he just comes there and he just, ready to wash his hand. And there, Krishna sees, hey, here, Brahma is here, as a fish. And then purposely to tease Brahma, that day he doesn't dip his hand in Yamuna to wash. He just takes a little water from the Yamuna and washes his hand outside, And Brahma is like, oh my God, I'm waiting that Krishna will dip his hand in Yamuna, but Krishna just takes little water and then he washes outside. And then Krishna gives a very cunning smile at Brahma that, look, not everybody will get that chance, okay, So it's not so easy, like, you can't just walk into Krishna Leela, right? There's one pastime I had heard about Raman Reti. even today when we go to that place, Ramanreti, where Krishna had his boyhood pastimes, there's one very beautiful pastime happened is Krishna used to play different games, right? Like different kridas. So one day they were playing a game where, one of the cowherd boy has to bend down and the other boys will run from far off and they will, jump above him. I don't know if you have played that game in childhood, but yeah, here in India we still play, that kind of a game. So the cowherd boys have to run and then they jump over that boy who is the denner, and that's the game. So every time, Krishna never becomes the denner because he just very swiftly runs, jumps and gets over. One day it so happened that one Gopa Balak who was bending down and the others were running and jumping over him. Somehow when Krishna's chance came, he got little bit disturbed by a bumblebee. So when he got disturbed by a bumblebee, he moved. And when he moved, Krishna, who was ready to jump, stopped. And because he stopped, he could not.
Oh, sorry.
Right, like different kridas. So one day play, that kind of a game. So the cowherd boys have to run and then they jump over that boy who is the denner, and that's the game. So every time, Krishna never becomes the denner because he just very swiftly runs, jumps and gets over. One day it so happened that one Gopa Balak who was bending down and the others were running and jumping over him. Somehow when Krishna's chance came, he got little bit disturbed by a bumblebee. So when he got disturbed by a bumblebee, he moved. And when he moved, Krishna, who was ready to jump, stopped. And because he stopped, he could not jump. Now all the Gopa Balakas, they caught Krishna. Hey, look, you couldn't jump. So now you become the denner. Krishna says, no, it's not my mistake. This boy, he moved. They said, look, we don't count all that, whether he moved, he didn't move. You're supposed to jump, you didn't jump, now you are the denner. And Krishna is very reluctant, no, I'm going back home. And they said, Krishna, you do this always, you're cheating. Whenever you are out, it's your turn, you just go back home. And if you do this time, we're not going to play with you from tomorrow. And Krishna is like, okay, fine, I'm going to do it, don't go away. So what should I do? They said, now you bend and we will all jump from you. They said, fine. So now Krishna is bent, he's bent down, looking towards his knee. And then all the Gopa Balakas, they're coming turn by turn, and they come from, running in a high speed. It's like what do you call that? Olympic, in Olympics you have those, games. So where you have to just jump. And they're all jumping. And not only that, while they're jumping, with their right hand, they are beating on Krishna's back, giving a big this on Krishna and then jumping, and they're enjoying doing it, and they're telling each other, beat so hard that his his back should get swollen up, because this is what he does when we are denners. And they're having fun, and all the devtas are watching this from above. And then Indra is telling to Chandra, and Chandra is telling to Surya, wow, never saw something like this, Why not we also try? This is a good opportunity. Let's also become Gopa Balak and then play this game with Krishna. And they said, fine, done. So they're all disguised in the form of Gopa Balakas. And then they all come down there, and they also join with the original Gopa Balakas. And then they are ready to jump over Krishna. So now, one by one, everybody's chance comes. And now Indra's chance comes. So Indra comes running, in full speed. And as he just comes close to Krishna and is about to jump, there he gets fear, because he has seen Krishna, on Anantasey, Sweta Dweep, how he lies down. So the moment he comes close to Krishna, he's so afraid, he starts chanting prayers. Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. No, I cannot. The Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then the other boys are like, why are you praying to him? What are you doing? If you don't know how to jump, can you just go? We want to jump. What is this boy doing? And they just push him, and then they start jumping. And then Indra Surya and Chandra and Kuvera and Varuna and Vayu, and they're all laughing, look at Indra. It calls himself the king of heaven, and he couldn't do that. Now look how we are going to jump. And Indra said, fine, go ahead. And then Surya is like, all ready, now it is his chance, and he comes running. And the moment he comes close to Krishna, he's sweating, and he's like, Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. No, I can't. I don't think I can. And he goes back. And then Chandra goes back. And then Kuber, and they're all like, I don't think we can do it. Only the Gopa Balak, only the cowherd boys can do it. We can't do it. And then they look at each other, oh, let's go back. This is not, we can't play like that. We can only worship Krishna. So Krishna has a very, very, very special relationship with the Gopa Balakas, and it's not so easy that you just walk into Krishna's Leela. Krishna, Krishna.
Did you hear that?
He didn't heard the first.
What did you say?
I didn't heard the first class. I gave it.
I cannot hear you. Sorry.
Can you hear me, Mataji?
Yes, yeah.
Actually, I didn't heard the first class, and I just had introduction.
Oh, you heard this?
I didn't understood.
Okay, I can't hear you. But I was saying, yeah, so getting into Krishna, very pure devotees can understand the mood of Krishna, because devatas, their mood is to worship. They have that servitorship. Of course, we need to pray to Krishna in the mood of service first, and slowly we can develop the friendship and the other rasas slowly. But there's more of the foundation is the servant. We need to serve. We need to understand that we are always, our constitutional position as a soul is to serve Krishna, not to enjoy like him. Enjoy with Krishna. So that is for today. Yeah. Do you want to share anything that you liked, Sita? All right. So I think we're going to end today. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. You want to say something?
No much.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
like
able to.
the whole class.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for joining. Hopefully you can join every week. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Hare Krishna.
Okay.